I'm Chris, and this is Jasmin Singer from Our Hen House. Jasmin, thank you so much for having us in your home today.
Thank you so much for coming to Our Hen House live and in person. It's so exciting to have company.
This is so nice. It's great meeting your family here.
Yeah, thank you.
And we just wanted to ask you about Our Hen House and how you got that started and how you have been an activist your whole life, because I think you have been an activist your whole life. It sounds like it to me.
Well, that is very sweet of you. I think there were a few months in 1979 when I was too busy, you know, like learning how to cry or something, that I wasn't an activist. But I've been an activist for a long time. I was not always an animal activist. I started out more in the AIDS awareness activism realm.
Okay.
And sort of like gay rights stuff. And I was actually an actor, which is sort of different than an activist. But I came to activism through being an actor. Because when I got out of college, I got a job with an AIDS awareness theater company. I was a theater major in college. And it was called Night Star, and they're amazing. And basically, I was a vegetarian already. I had gone vegetarian when I was a teenager, mostly because I thought it was so cool.
It was cool. You were cool.
I was so cool, but I was so unethical. I was the absolute epitome of the least amount of ethics a vegetarian could have, because all I consumed were eggs and dairy. I was one of those.
Oh, okay.
I had no consciousness about animals at all, really. It's strange in retrospect to think about it like that. But I became vegan while I was at this AIDS awareness theater company, because I met a friend of mine who's still friends with me to this day, Marisa Miller-Wolfson, who just made the film Vegucated.
Ooh.
And yeah, it's going to be great. I was the creative consultant on that film. But anyway, Marisa, who's brilliant, she showed me the light. We all have someone who showed us the light. Mm-hmm. And I met her through that job. I became an animal activist like on the spot, and that was about 8 years ago. So that's how long I've been an animal activist. Yeah, it's interesting as an adult to look back on those parts of being a kid, because I certainly was ostracized for my entire childhood, and it's because I really feel like I wanted to do what was right and not necessarily follow in the footsteps of the kids who were cool. I don't know. I was so uncool. I was like, I'm not going to be cool. I'm going to be uncool and love it. That's weird.
But it's your own kind of cool. You make your own kind of cool that way, don't you?
Where were you in my childhood?
I told you I was down the road, apparently.
Right. Well, you're also from Central Jersey.
So that's what it is.
That's true. It's Central Jersey. It makes activists.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
I don't think so.
But
anyway.
After that, I was really into writing. I'm a writer. And I started to pitch articles to various magazines. And I got one article in Satya magazine, which was a wonderful social justice magazine. Rest in peace, Satya. It's no longer with us, but all of the articles are online. And I started writing for Veg News, which I still write for, which I love. And eventually I was volunteering, and I was still acting. And one day I was like, okay, my life's purpose is, you know, what can I do to blend what I'm good at into changing the world for animals? So I landed at Farm Sanctuary in 2007, eventually as the campaigns manager, which was great. And it was an amazing experience. Love Farm Sanctuary. I mean,
it's such a wonderful place. It's such a happy place.
So it is. It's a great place. And eventually I felt like I was growing in a slightly different direction. And so my partner, animal rights law professor Marianne Sullivan, who's the brains behind Our Hen House, we started Our Hen House in January of 2010, so a year and a half ago. And it's basically a multimedia hive of opportunities to change the world for animals. So we have a blog every day. We have a podcast every week, which is fun. We love the podcast. And we produce videos highlighting everyone from artists who speak up for animals through their art form to people from the LGBT community who are making the connections between animal rights and gay rights, to everything in between. Entrepreneurs, we've highlighted some amazing entrepreneurs who are doing great work. It's a lot of, we love it. We really do. People are ready to get involved with advocacy.
Yeah, you have so many interesting people that you've been able to get for your interviews on Our Hen House. Do you have any that were particularly special to you that you really didn't think you would be able to get?
Well, a few people come to mind. They sort of fall into categories in my mind. We interviewed Peter Singer for our podcast, which was a hoot. I tried to convince him that I'm his long-lost daughter.
Oh, I thought that was going to go in that direction.
We have the same last name. And he was amazing. I was kind of nervous for that one. So Peter Singer was definitely, I would say, a treat. But as far as the best interviews we gave, there were two that spring to mind, and we've had 70. Jenny Brown from Woodstock Farm Animal Sanctuary. She was an amazing interviewee. She just comes to the table with such raw emotion and such storytelling, and she's just such a beautiful person inside and out. And James E. McWilliams, who was just on.
I was just listening to that one. He's wonderful.
He's an environmentalist. He wrote the book Just Food, where locavores get it wrong and how we can truly eat responsibly. He's been one of our heroes for a long time. And we met him after an event, and we, cornered him and we're like, be on our podcast. And he's such a nice guy. So he was on it, and he was brilliant. Did you like his interview?
Yeah, I thought it was great. Yeah, I can really tell that you just enjoy what you're doing, and you have so much fun talking to these people, and you're getting a lot back from them. There's a lot of interaction there.
I'm totally humbled by these people. I mean, these are true movers and shakers within the animal rights movement, and we get to talk to them, and we get to ask them questions that we've always wanted to ask them. I mean, how many people can say that? We're very lucky. And we do a lot of writing, so
right.
That the podcast is just one little program that we do, but the blogs, there is content coming out of our armpits. I mean, there's just so many activists to feature, and there's so many opportunities for people to use the resources that they already have in order to create change. And we just want there to be something for everyone. We have a Legal Eagles section, which Marianne really heads up because she's a lawyer. And that's just different legislative and legal opportunities. I mean, it's time that someone sued these bastards,
Absolutely.
There's so many opportunities there. We have an arts section that brings in my background in the arts. There's just every single possible way you can imagine to get involved with animal advocacy in a way that is exciting to you. I mean, you've found a way that's exciting to you. And
absolutely.
Isn't it very fulfilling? I mean, it's something that helps us to deal with the despair. Because I'm sure you feel the despair.
Yeah, well, what I want to do is I want to go and then tell someone about it. Yeah. It makes me want to be the activist. Mm-hmm. I want to tell another person, so then they tell someone else.
That's great.
And I think that's really something that you're doing, because you're a conduit. Mm-hmm. You're bringing these people, talking to them, and then you're disseminating all the information out. And I think that's really a very important place.
Thank you very much.
I really do.
We've been really blown away by the support, but we really don't think it's a testament to us. We really just think it's a testament to the state of the world right now. People they're getting it. Mm-hmm. People are starting to get that it is not okay to support this death machine that is animal exploitation. The animal agriculture industry is banking on the fact that we're not going to get it, and we're starting to get it.
I think people also sometimes come to it from different angles. Mm-hmm. They end up coming to that place, but they're coming to it because of things like, I'm not eating well, I'm not eating a good healthy diet anymore. But I mean, that's fine. Yeah. That's fine. Right. I think that's a good place to start.
Sure. I think it's great, if you're going to go vegan, I don't care if you're going to go vegan because you think that you're trying to meet some guy or some girl.
Right.
I don't care why you go vegan. The only thing is with the health thing, I think it's really important that we grab those health vegans and show them, expose to them the ethical considerations for adopting a cruelty-free lifestyle, because if anyone's going to maybe waver back, it's the health vegans. So we need to seize that opportunity.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, come to it because you think that, because you realize that animal products are absolutely devastating to your own health. If you come to it from that point of view, fabulous. But then from there, you have to learn that it's not just yourself. It's actually you're one of billions of beings, and it's your responsibility to really do what we were talking about that we did as kids, and speak up for what's right, and vote with your dollars, and spread the word, and liberate animals. And
I have a little pin that says everything is connected.
Oh my God, we have that! Wait a second. Not only do we have that, but that's part of what brought us together as a relationship.
That's how I try to live. That's how I try to live my life, because I think that that's really, really important. If you have to see what you say or do to other people, and what you say and do to other people can affect them their whole lives. And I didn't ask you exactly how you came to the name Our Hen House.
Well, we really wanted it to be something that was all-inclusive. It's not mine, it's all of ours. It's our hen house. And of course, hens specifically, we have a soft spot in our hearts for it, because we believe that they are among the most misunderstood and highly exploited and abused animals. I mean, the life of a hen is just egregiously horrible to even think about what they endure. And yet, if you get to know them, they're social and they're funny, or they can be social and they can be funny and they can be brave, and they are in flocks, they are in families. We have friends who run a sanctuary in Vermont called Vine. Veganism is the Next Evolution, which is an amazing animal sanctuary. And the chickens there, they have rescued chickens, and they fly into the trees, and some of them sleep there, even in the cold Vermont winter night.
You said you were up there in one of your podcasts. You guys went up there for like New Year's or something, right?
We were there on New Year's.
And you couldn't believe that they were up.
They were up in these trees. It was freezing, but it's like, this is what we strip them of. For what?
Absolutely.
It's so that's getting dramatic. But it is dramatic. I mean, it is dramatic. But on the other side of it, we wanted to create a community, hence house. And we wanted it to be all of ours. So, hence Our Hen House. I think it was Marianne who came up with it. She's usually behind the good ideas.
It sounds like you have a lot of them, too.
Well, we work well
together. Good collaborators.
She's a very good idea person. I'm a really good, make it happen person.
That's what you need.
Yeah.
You need people like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's amazing, but our pillow talk is so boring, because we're just like, did you read? We're like going to sleep, and we're like, did you read that New York Times op-ed by, so-and-so talking about the veal calves who are like, I'm like, oh yeah. Did you write that blog entry about how people need call for papers immediately on the ethics of eating green? Yeah, I got that. That's our pillow talk. Is that sexy or not so much?
Sadly, I can relate, because we talk about those kinds of things too. Because if that's the only time that you get to interact, if you've had separate busy lives during the day and you come together.
Well, we have very busy lives, but we are never apart. Never, because Marianne she took early retirement from her job in order to focus on Our Hen House and on animal law. She teaches animal law at Cardozo Law School and Brooklyn Law School, and soon to be Columbia Law School, as an adjunct. And she is the chair of the Animal Law Committee for the American Bar Association's TIPS section. So she's a fancy lady, and so she took early retirement, and we are basically together all the time. In our hen house right here, our 380 square foot apartment/office.
It looks bigger.
Really?
Yes, because you have high ceilings.
Ooh.
I think you've made the most of it.
Maybe another level.
You might be able to put a loft in there.
That would be good. Maybe a third level for Rose, too.
Would she go up there?
No, she wants to be on top of us all the time.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Thing.
Thank you so much for inviting us
fun.
into your hen house and our hen house.
Thank you. It was so fun. I really love what you're doing.